All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 of Conduit eSports Phoenix versus Subatomic Gaming Chameleon. We had a wonderful game 1 draft coming through, and a game 1 that left no questions unturned. It was a phenomenal game from both sides, and I absolutely love what everyone brought to the Rift. And if we can have a game number 2 like how we just had, I know for a fact we're going to be in for a full 3-game series.
Wow, this thing is really broken. Can't see nothing.
Yeah, we are having a little bit of trouble on that, but it's perfectly fine. It's I don't know why it's having some trouble, but it is what it is. But we do see the bands finally coming through. We see the Amumu, the Syndra, and the Skarner coming through for Conduit eSports. But on the side of Subatomic Gaming, we see the Ivern, the Hui, and the Mordekaiser. So for both of these,
Ooh, the Jarvan pig. I'm excited to see who they pair this with.
exactly. I think if we can see anything like what came out of game number 1, these team fights are going to be absolutely phenomenal. But we do see the B1 of Conduit eSports being the Jinx, and this Jinx is in a phenomenal position right now. So seeing whether or not it's lethality or if it comes to being the crit build, we're gonna have to wait to find out. But the J4 with this Kog'Maw is really strong in a very good position right now. So I'm kind of curious about how they're gonna pair this, because the Lulu is taken away from Conduit eSports, and that is the beautiful duo that you would love to see come through with the
Kog'Maw
pair.
Lulu.
Yeah, it's absolutely
Yeah,
disgusting.
they took that. They're like, no, we're not dealing with that.
No, absolutely. They did the best that they could for game number 1, but we do see the Xin Zhao coming through for Conduit eSports.
We're gonna pick
And
this Braum into a Lulu. That'd be a very interesting.
well, with that being said,
Okay.
Braum Kog'Maw used to be a phenomenal duo bot lane. It used to be so strong that it was actually stronger than Kog'Maw Lulu, because at one point Kog'Maw used to be called Turret Kog'Maw. I don't know if y'all remember this. This is back from about 2016, 2017 era. This was a beautiful bot lane because Kog'Maw literally didn't have to move. He pressed W, he stood still. All Braum had to do was auto attack anybody. Everyone got stunned, and it was an instant kill coming through for whoever had that duo. So I'm curious to see how they're going to be able to do it. Even though it may not be as strong as it used to be, it's still very strong to this day.
Yeah, that's just hoping Braum can land his Qs or get close enough for an auto before Lulu can polymorph him.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the bands to come through visibly. For whatever reason, they are slightly behind on what's actually being picked. But we do see the LeBlanc coming through for the side of Subatomic Gaming. Again, I think this is a phenomenal pick. And the Gwen is being banned out again against the top laner of Subatomic Gaming on the side of Conduit eSports. So 2 very good bans coming through. And the Cassiopeia is going to be the next ban coming out for Subatomic Gaming. I don't know too much about this mid laner on the side of Conduit eSports, but he clearly has very good skill around some of these mid laners that have good dueling potential and burst potential. Because this LeBlanc is apparently one of his picks that he wants to play, so it's always being banned out. And then this Cassiopeia, it's just a phenomenal ban, because if the J4 and the Braum want to go in, all the Cassiopeia has to do is just ult, and everyone's stuck in place.
Yep.
So both teams really thinking about their drafts, really thinking about what they want to do on this rift. And I love how both sides are really thinking about what they want to bring to the table for this game. And this is going to be
Oh,
an R4 Aurora. Now, in pro play, it's typically seen in the top lane. But this is Emerald Diamond. It could go mid. Thunder McBuster is known to play it, but it could also be in the top lane. So this is a beautiful flex. And they're going to wait to see what Conduit eSports pick to decide whether or not the Aurora goes in the top lane or the Aurora goes in the mid lane.
that Aurora Jarvan is gonna be chef's kiss.
Yeah, no, it's one of those picks that it's just so strong. And if I'm not mistaken, she did get some nerfs
Hmm.
or hot fixes since her release. So she's not as strong as she was, but she's still very, very strong. But this Galio pick's gonna come through. I think this is beautiful. The Cassante is gonna be the last pick coming through for Conduit Esports, but the Galio in the mid lane, being able to have that semi-global ultimate once he reaches level 6, and this Cassante, all Xin Zhao has to do is jump in, or if anybody gets caught out, Galio is there for the
Hmm.
save. He is going to jump. He is going to go. And I cannot wait to see what this mid laner can do for Conduit Esports because I think this is a phenomenal pick into the draft. Or onto the in this draft for Conduit Esports against Subatomic Gaming.
Darius into Cassandra. I'm not too familiar with this matchup. Um, how do you feel about these two?
So Cassante has gotten some picks or some I'm sorry, has gotten some buffs, especially in the 14.19 patch. He did get a little bit of a buff. He was always in a very pretty much well-rounded spot. Even though he did take a win percent um, decrease a couple patches ago, he was still in a pretty overall good spot. But this Cassante into Darius specifically, Darius just wants to land his Qs. If he can land his Qs, land his pools, things like that, it's going to be great. But really, it's just going to be a farm match in the top lane. And whoever can get that little bit of a lead from both sides is going to be able to kind of bring that to the table for the team fights. I don't want to see too terribly much coming out from this top lane. I just want to kind of see them battling it out, trying to get lane prio, trying to deny some CS or deny some XP, things like that. Just play this match out to the best of their ability for what they know.
Hmm.
But when it comes to these first team fights, especially around this first round of grubs, I want to see both of them roam, and that's really going to determine who takes control of this top lane, the Cassante or the Darius. That's what I want to see. Play safe, wait, get your level 6, and join your team for these first round of grubs, and then we're gonna see really who can try to take over this rift. Because that first round of grubs is really gonna make or break this first game, or break this second game. But
Yeah, I definitely see that for sure.
no, but all in all, though, both teams drafted amazing. You have very good peeling out of the Conduit Esports for this Jinx. Like we've said before in prior games, this is protect the president. This is
Hmm.
protect the Jinx, keep this Jinx alive, allow this Jinx to go. Yes, the Cassante is strong. Yes, the Xin Zhao can be strong. Yes, the Galio can be strong. But when it comes to these later team fights, these later overall fights in this game, the Jinx needs to be online. So seeing some early game ganks coming out of this Xin Zhao in the bot lane, trying to get this Jinx ahead, allowing the Galio to just roam with his jungle when he can, and Cassante to be on an island by himself. That's what I want to see coming out of Conduit Esports. But for the side of Subatomic Gaming, they have a beautiful 2v2 matchup in this bot lane with the Kog'Maw Braum. It's a phenomenal duo. But then when you bring into the 3v3 matchup with this J4, J4 can really disrupt this 3v3 matchup with this flag and drag, with the shields, with the slows, things like that. Slows stacking on top from the J4, then following by from the Braum, and then the stuns coming through. This is going to be absolutely phenomenal. But when it comes to full-on 5v5s, they have a beautiful front to back, but they also both have very good pick potential. So if someone gets caught out, these flag and drags, these Galio taunts, these Aurora ults, they're all going to come into play. And I cannot wait to see how explosive these team fights are going to be.
Oh yeah, same for me. I'm pretty excited to see how it goes, especially with the what is the word I'm looking for? Initiation from Jarvan, followed up with the Braum. I'm kind of excited to see how the other team will respond to that, whether it be a Lulu ult, a Xin Zhao ult, or Galio ult. I'm ready to see how this plays out, how well each team can survive each other.
Exactly. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go into a quick break while we wait for this game to load up. right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back into game number 2 of Subatomic Gaming versus Conduit eSports. I do just realize that everybody is still on the same side. I had that mixed up. I do apologize. But moving forward, we do see a nice little 5-man invade or 5-man stack in the top lane coming out of Subatomic Gaming with a nice little 5-point coming out from the side of Conduit eSports.
Oh, goodness. I fixed my mic, sorry. I hope you don't hear all this background noise.
No, you are perfectly okay. Though I do want to bring to attention what I've been noticing recently when it comes to these to the junglers specifically. They've opted not to buy a health potion in the start of the game. That extra 50 gold is what can help make or break getting that very first item from their full jungle clear. Now, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I am not a jungler by any means. But what I've been noticing recently is players doing that. So we do see these nice little short trades coming through from the side of Subatomic Gaming, but I'm not expecting too terribly much out of either side, at least in these first couple of levels.
No. I am used to Lulu's going crazy with the pokes, though. It looks like she's trying over here. Oh? Early level 2?
Yeah, they did get the early level 2. They are going to be able to get some damage down onto this Braum. It's not the end-all be-all because Braum does have the most health potions, but Kog'Maw is... I can personally say this for myself. Being a former AD carry main before switching to support, Kog'Maw does have a lower attack damage in the early stages, and it kind of throws off your ability to farm properly for these first few waves. And I'm curious to see if Resilient is going to be able to really maximize his CS. He seems to be doing okay so far, but a lot of people tend to forget that Kog'Maw is a lot harder than people think. Oh, here we go. The jump forward was not good enough. The Q comes through, but the exhaust follows from the Braum. The stun comes through in the flag and drag, and the Jinx is going to end up going down with a first blood going over to the Kog'Maw. Now the stun comes through, and they're trying to finish the kill off on the D shot, but I don't think, oh, it is enough. But Resilient is going to trade his life, and it is an execute for the side of Subatomic Gaming, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was phenomenal coming out of Subatomic Gaming.
Wow. Just wow. I was surely sure that he got hit.
Little engage coming in. The Galio trying to get a nice little trade, but this Aurora went Conqueror instead of Electrocute. Now he's trying to get the kill, but he didn't flash forward. He only needed one. He was one tap, guys. He was one tap. For my FPS shooters out there, he was one tap. He was one tap, and that was a true one tap. Not he was one tap and he still had full health. He was truly one tap. So I think he could have burned his flash. He could have got that, but it's okay. He opts to save it because he may need it later.
So, like, this is pretty even, like we were discussing earlier. Just Darius and Cassante kind of going head-to-head with each other. Not really too much going on up there.
Yeah. And really, this matchup's really going to come down to, can Darius land his Qs? That's the biggest thing. Can Darius land his Qs? But we do see this Jinx underneath the tower. The flag and drag comes up. It's not going to be much, but the Chomper's going to come through. Can they land the kill? Resilient is going to be able to get the kill, but they're again, the J4 goes down, and it is an execute, and they get out unscathed. But hold on, here comes the Galio. Galio is looking. The Lulu is trying to land some type of slow, but meanwhile, the Proxy's coming through for the Darius, but the Zinzao is looking for the Q. He's going to land the Q. He's going to go in, and that's going to be a kill going over to the Cassante in the top lane.
Oh, wow. Now we got a technically 3-0, but 3-1 Kog'Maw. That's really good for... Kog'Maw's kind of late game, isn't he? She?
We're gonna go with the pronouns today. It is it. We don't know what it is, so we are not gonna give it a pronoun. We are not trying to get banned, ladies and gentlemen. So because of this, Kog'Maw is, yes, a late game scaling champion. It is considered a hyperscale champion, and the more items he has, the more attack speed he has, the stronger he gets, and the more dangerous he becomes. But these grubs are now up. The dragon has spawned, and that's a massive Aurora coming in, and that's the flag and drag coming in from the flash, but the taunt comes through, but the knockup happens because he tried to dash away, and the flash finally comes out of this Aurora and able to land that kill. I am so glad that he saved his flash, because he is able to kill this Aurora in the mid lane with the assistance of his Jarvan. Now they're going to have a nice little scrimmage coming off over the Tri-Brush, but this I don't think is worth. The Braum is going to end up going down. I think maybe the Q lands. Is he going to take the dive? No, the stun comes through, and the Resilient is able to get another kill, and they are able to survive. And meanwhile, on the top lane, in the top side of the map, the J4 is securing the first round of grubs for the side of Subatomic Gaming.
Oh my goodness.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is getting out of hand very quick, very fast, and I am so very excited to see what Conduit eSports is going to be able to do to get themselves out of this situation, because right now the odds are stacked against them. This is game number 2 in a best of 3, and I am really curious to see if they're going to be able to pull something out and be able to come back and bring this to a 1-1 series, so that we can have a full 3-game series.
Still a little bit of a regular standoff here at the top lane in their little island.
But this is exactly what I wanted to see. This is why I said this. The Darius and the Cassante, just farm it out. Just farm it out. Now, granted, there was no fight over the first round of grubs, because all the fighting is coming in the bot lane. So this prolongs it to the next round of grubs. If they have to have a fight over it, that is when we're going to see whether or not this Darius or Cassante is going to start taking over the game.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, everyone forgets about that unstoppable. It doesn't pull him back, but now he has a nice little Q3. He's going to get the knockup, but is he going to ult? The all-out comes out, but the flash comes through, and it's not going to be enough. He dashes forward, and now he's going to be able to get the solo bow in the top lane, and that's going to be 2-0 on this Cassante, and he gets out alive.
Wow. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, I still be struggling on what that character does. I'm finally getting the hang of it, but it's hard to tell when you got that stack on you if you don't know what you're looking for.
Oh man, Cassante is just a wonderful champion. If you can learn him, if you can learn his kit, he can carry games. I don't know if anybody pays attention to some of these pro plays when everyone starts putting in that Cassante has 400 armor, 200 magic resist, 300 AD, has unlimited dashes, unlimited shields. It is true. All of it is true. It might be spam in chat, but it is true. Cassante is a monster in the top lane if you know how to pilot him correctly, and clearly CZI knows how to pilot him.
First dragon goes to red side.
Yeah, Subatomic Gaming able to secure that first dragon. They also got the first round of grubs. The next set of grubs, I'm not entirely sure when it's going to spawn, but I will make sure that I pay attention to the map. But right now, not too terribly much is going to be going on to the bot side, but this 4-1 Kog'Maw, already having Berserker Greaves as his first back, he's building into this Bork? No, he's building into Rage Blade. This is the Rage Blade
Oh,
first item. He's gonna go first item Rage Blade, and the item that I cannot say for the life of me is coming out of the Aurora, and this is a beautiful first item back uh, for
malignance.
Thunder McBuster. I will never be able to say that correctly. I apologize, but that's my. Everyone has that one word they can't say. That's mine. I can't say it. I'm sorry, but Aurora, beautiful first item back. Able to have this in his pocket. His ultimates are already going to be doing massive damage for these team fights. And I'm so excited. Oh, the taunt came through, but nothing landed. Now the flag and drag comes, the knockup comes, the stun comes, and now here comes the Aurora with a massive ult, and they're all going to turn their attention onto this jungle. But now the Galio is able to ult, and everyone's able to get out alive. And a flag and drag comes through, but nothing else comes. The taunt only lands onto the Braum. I think they're all going to walk away from this, but Grubs is spawning in under a minute. Now they're turning their attention. Okay, Grubs are up now. The flag and drag comes. The Unstoppable is there. Now everybody on the side of Subatomic Gaming is trying to get onto this Cassante, but Cassante did the all out. And now they're split. Their damage is split. They need to turn around. They need to focus onto this Cassante. Cassante doing the best that he can. The Darius is spinning. He's able to get this bleed on. And CZI is still alive, but now he finally goes down. And they're able to secure that kill. And Thunder McBuster is going to push out this mid wave. Keep them occupied in the mid lane, while all 6 Grubs are going to go into the favor of Subatomic Gaming uncontested.
Ooh, that's tough. Tough for blue side without that extra pushing power. So it's really good to have those Grubs on Jinx, but now we have it on Kog'Maw, whose Rage Blade is going to be giving him a lot of attack speed, right?
Yeah, he's gonna have a lot of attack speed. I believe after 4 stacks, every 3rd auto attack has an additional attack. So he's really going to be dishing out this damage early on. And I'm curious to know what he's going to build after this Rage Blade. He should have enough now to build his Rage Blade on this back. Oh, he went into Bork.
It's Bork.
I mean, granted, this is the first item back that most Kog'Maws go, but I could have sworn that was going to go into a Rage Blade.
It's even better for the dueling.
Especially the front line.
Survive longer. Mm-hmm.
This Bork. Now, granted, I did believe he was going to build Bork, and I thought that was going to be a second item, but I really thought he was going Rage Blade first. But this Bork is massive because the front line coming out of Conduit eSports with this Cassante and this Galio is just going to be massive. And then on top of it, with the Lulu ult coming through on anybody on the side of Conduit eSports, he's still going to be able to burn through them.
Resilient coming out in a 4-0 game again. I don't count the first, it was an execution. Still haven't technically died yet.
Well, that's fair enough.
Really?
Everyone has their rules, and that's one of yours, so I am perfectly A-okay with that. But meanwhile, both sides doing the best that they can, but that's going to be a nice little pull into a Q from this Darius. He's doing Darius things in the top lane. He's not too worried, but they are both sitting on 2 kills. But this Darius has 20 CS lead over top of this Cassante. But mind you, Darius opted into going Boots of Swiftness first, where Cassante opted into going Iceborne Gauntlet first. So this Iceborne Gauntlet is a massive power spike for the Cassante, and I think that this is going to be enough for him to actually be able to duel this Darius one-on-one. And we're going to be able to find out right here, right now. Ooh, oh, that's a massive ult coming through, but it's not going to be in the tower range. This the all-out's going to be, but it's not enough, and the Darius is going to win that 1v1. But I saw what he was trying to do. He was trying to go underneath the tower with him. It just wasn't enough. He took him out of the tower range on the other side.
That was such a fat slow by Darius. I didn't know he could slow like that. I haven't gone against a Darius in a long time.
Yeah, it's the W from Darius. It's an auto attack reset, and it also applies a slow. And people sleep on the slow. It's kind of like Nasus. People sleep on the slow. Nasus is slow. It's basically an exhaust. It's basically a stun.
Mm-hmm.
Early level ranks, it's not going to be too terribly bad. But when these later stages of the game come and he starts reaching these it starts getting closer to level 18. Ooh, that's a massive flag and drag, but here comes the Aurora ult. It's not going to be enough. Here comes the Glacial Fissure. That's going to be enough. The stun comes through, and that's going to be a nice kill going over to the side of Subatomic Gaming in this mid lane on the Galio. And now they're really going to be able to get some pushing prowess onto this mid lane tower.
They just have so much CC for that combo. It's hard to get away once you're caught.
Ooh, another flag and drag comes to a pool, and now the ultimate has to come out from the Xin Zhao, but the Cataclysm lands, and that's going to be enough to secure another kill going into the side of Subatomic Gaming. Subatomic Gaming really doing the best that they can. This Kog'Maw is just absolutely destroying a 1v2 in the bot lane. He's fearless. He's just stepping forward. He knows I'm stronger. He knows I win this. Even though he's down 20 CS, he's up 4 kills. And he knows with this board, he wins.
Really living up to that name, huh? Resilient.
Definitely is.
I love
He
it.
definitely is. Don't worry, I have something planned for when he pops off in one of these team fights. I know what's coming. He's already ahead. He has the carry potential. He knows what he's doing, and I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do in these team fights. But now I want us to all look at this scoreboard. The J4 is up. What is that? He's almost doubled the CS. Matter of fact, he has doubled the CS on the Xin Zhao, and he has 3 levels over him. Level 11 to level 8. This is massive. Absolutely massive. Now, the Sunder Sky on the Xin Zhao is a very, very strong item for Xin Zhao, but he's so far behind in levels. He's getting starved out of his jungle. He's getting pushed out of his jungle, and unfortunately, nothing can come of it. They're trying to go in. The flash comes in. The Lulu ult's gonna come through, but the flash has to come out so this Jinx can get out alive. Ooh, a flash coming out from CZI, and that's gonna be enough to keep him alive. But here comes the rest of Conduit eSports. They're trying to just get this Xin Zhao some type of CS, some type of XP, because he is just so far behind. Oh,
yeah, that's really tough.
He's gonna get polymorph. He's gonna face check, and the rest of Conduit eSports is gonna be able to jump onto him, and that's gonna be fine. But here comes a massive cataclysm. But now the Galio is gonna look for the knockup. Nothing's gonna land, but the Kog'Maw is completely untouched in the back line. He's just running through the side of Conduit eSports. He's just ripping and tearing, and he's going to be able to continue to get these kills. And Darius is on the back line fighting this Cassante one-on-one, and they're just going to be able to run through them, and they're going to secure 3 kills. Ooh, that flash. Hold on. Is he going to be able to get the last kill? And he gets the last kill, and that's going to be a 4-0 in the favor of Conduit. I'm sorry, in the favor of Subatomic Gaming.
Oh my goodness, look at all those grubs.
That is a lot of grubs, and look, at 18 minutes into the game, they're already breaking open the base. This is unheard of. Most people don't break the base until at least 20 minutes. They're already breaking the base, and it's 18.
I feel like this may be kind of bad, because now blue side has a whole lane that they can farm and try to catch up on. I see the reasoning behind it, because they want to have, all this power in the jungle, red side does, but now blue side has something that they can actually farm and try to catch back up.
Exactly. Now, I do want to take note that the Kog'Maw did just finish his Rage Blade, but this Jinx is opting to go the crit build, and even though he's down an entire item, he still has a lot of dueling potential with these team fights. If the Galio can land a massive ult, being that this Galio is going full on tank, if this Galio can land a massive ult, and the Lulu can keep this Jinx alive, and Cassante can just create that space like he's been doing, they still have potential to win these fights. They might be down 10k or 11k at this point. They might be down 10k gold, but they are still not technically out. They still have a potential, because it's still extremely early on in the game. Yes, it's a 10k gold lead. Yes, this stuff kind of matters in the early stages of the game, but it's not the end all be all, because they can still get a nice team fight, and they can still come out ahead if they catch them off guard.
Yeah, especially with all this gold that red side is holding over their heads. If that gold even gets funneled into one person, especially if it gets funneled into Jinx, it'll be pretty good for the blue side. They give him a chance to come back.
Exactly. Ooh, that's a nice flag and drag coming up. I think that this Galio is going to be able to get out to safety, but he tries to dash away, but the knockup's gonna go through. But now they're looking for the dive, and the Cataclysm's gonna come through, and that's gonna be a nice kill going over towards Subatomic Gaming again. Now, mind you, Subatomic Gaming has been on fire this all of game number 2. They have secured every objective. They have 6 towers to 1. They have everything in their pocket. Resilient is sitting on 2 items, already a hyper carry. He's gonna be able to melt through anyone that he can touch, as long as the rest of Subatomic Gaming is protecting him. And this is the best case scenario that Subatomic Gaming can have right now. But for the side of Conduit eSports, they still are not technically out of this. They just need a turtle. They need to do the best they can and try and stop this bleeding. If they can stop this bleeding, find picks, maybe get a shutdown on any one of these members on the side of Subatomic Gaming, they can claw their way slowly but surely back into this game.
Oof.
Oh, that was a nice jump in by the Xin Zhao. He ult, but it's not going to be enough. But here comes the ultimate out of the Galio. The knockup's only going to land onto the Braum. He flashes forward. He's able to get 2, but here comes a Glacial Fissure. But now the Resilient is just melting away this front line. And now Darius is going to have to try and run, but the Jinx is trying to run him down. The Jinx is excited. He was able to get 1 kill. He's able to secure a 2nd kill. Now he's focusing onto this Darius. He's able to secure a 3rd kill. And this is what I wanted to see. This is what I meant. But meanwhile, the base is just being destroyed by Subatomic Gaming. Conduit eSports, they need to back. They need to get back. They need to try to defend this base. But they're going to be able to secure all the Nexus towers. And it's only 22 minutes into the game. They're looking for the end. Here. Oh. Meanwhile, okay, the Between Worlds comes through. They're focusing this Aurora. But meanwhile, the J4, he's pulling an Xpeke. He's going to pull an Xpeke. He's going to be able to get it. The Cosmic comes in, and he is able to secure the final hit onto this Nexus. And he gets the victory for Subatomic Gaming. And he pulled an Xpeke. He pulled an Xpeke. That was phenomenal. Both teams, absolutely amazing coming out from both sides. Absolutely love it. I cannot thank both teams enough for putting on this amazing show. Yes, Subatomic Gaming won 2-0. They will be moving into week number 3, 2-0. Yes, unfortunately, Conduit eSports is 0-2 now in their group, but that doesn't mean that they're out. They can still come back. They can still make it to playoffs. They still have a good chance, and they're a solid team. They keep playing the way they're playing. They're going to be able to really bring this home.